If you would like the pathway a little bit easier to creating health, you might want an adaptogen. The upside of an adaptogen is it's also going to help you become a person that is magnesium rich and enough calcium versus calcium dominant and low in magnesium. Health does not happen when we're calcium dominant. Is calcium important? Absolutely. But we need to be creating a magnesium rich environment so that our red blood cell levels, not our serum, come in at 6.3. And we don't want to set ourselves up that we have to soak every day for that to happen. We want to make it that we have a low magnesium burn rate so that when we soak in magnesium, we're getting optimal uptake and it our body holds it and knows what to do with it. That's what we're going to talk about today. My name's Kristen. I'm a magnesium advocate. Remember, this whole time, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing. I'm not telling you what to do. You and I are just going to have a conversation so that we can ask more powerful questions. Healthy women ask powerful questions when it comes to their health and their wealth. Yeah, both. Have you used an adaptogen? I would love to know. Throw it up in the comments. Oh, and yesterday was a holiday. And then Thursday and Friday, I'm headed out of town to a conference that's going to be fabulous. And so I have been giving away magnesium. Today, I am going to give away 3. And then tomorrow, I'll give away 3 to catch up for the day I missed and the 2 days I'm going to miss this week. I am looking for women who are helping me build community. The give receive cycle is powerful, and your give receive cycle has to be open when you're creating health. If you're someone who's giving all of the time and not receiving, you become a burned out shadow shell of your former self. And how can you receive help if you're shutting down compliments, if you're shutting down everything? My goal is that you and I really live the pattern of giving and receiving and giving and receiving. So, the ways that we do that on this live is I'm giving by sharing information, sharing what I've learned. Hopefully, you're receiving, and then you're giving when you leave a comment, and I receive when you leave that comment, and then I give back. And so the back and forth conversation actually increases our ability to receive help. Now, an introvert probably just hated that because an introvert likes to kind of sit in the back, take things in, and process a different way. You still need an open give receive cycle, even as an introvert. Let's get on to adaptogens, though. Enough of that. Adaptogens. What is an adaptogen? First, let's clarify that. An adaptogen is something that helps your body modulate stress, that helps your body more efficiently maintain homeostasis, that helps your body deal with cortisol. Think of it, oh, Danielle, that is so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Think of it as think of that person that is your support person. You know they're there for you. That's what an adaptogen is. But here's the problem. I see a missing component in how most approach an adaptogen, and that is they grab one, they take it, and it maybe helps, maybe doesn't. There's a lot more to an adaptogen and how you approach it and how you take it. And if you're willing to invest and think of the adaptogen as building a relationship with that adaptogen, you will have found your support that makes your journey to creating optimal health easier, and you can use it off and on as needed. Why don't we use an adaptogen all the time? Think of it this way. I love to thrift. It's my happy place. I wouldn't want to thrift every hour of every day. I would get burned out on thrifting. I may want to try. No, just kidding. Oh, not really. I kind of would like to try. No, not really. We'd get burned out doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and we would become less effective. If you overuse adaptogens and stay on it for 2 years, you lose the benefit of it. So think of it as cycling on, cycling off, cycling on, cycling off. I have my adaptogen. I actually have 2 now that I use, that I have built that relationship with. I know what to expect from them, and I know when I start taking them, when I need them, that they are there for me. And usually, from what I've seen, once you build that relationship, you're building it for life. Like, that is the adaptogen that you can go to and that you can trust that it will be there to support you and make the journey easier. My goal is always minimum input for maximum output. And so to tell you to take the time to discover your adaptogen is huge for me because I want minimum input, and I recognize building the relationship with an adaptogen, you're probably going to have a couple of failures. And that right there presents a problem. How do you handle failure? And did you realize how you handle failure is directly related to how long it's going to take you to get healthy? Example A, you tried something and it didn't work and you're devastated. You researched, you do everything right. I did it right. It didn't help. Nothing ever helps me. And you walk away from creating health for 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 years. And then when you come back, it's even harder to create health because your subconscious wants to keep you the same. And your subconscious is like, oh, remember, you tried that last thing and it didn't work. And so you're actually putting a cement backpack, which, by the way, I thrifted Madewell today. And it is epic and brand new. Thrifted it. I paid like $1.50 for it. Anyway, I digress. I'm not going to brag about my thrift finds, but today was epic. So you're putting cement in a backpack on creating that healthy journey because every time you stop and start and stop and start, you're wiring your subconscious to make it harder. If you can handle failure and you recognize, hey, I think of it like rocks. Hey, in fact, I made some rocks. I didn't realize I was going to have a visual for you. I'm going to paint these mandala. I don't, anyway, it doesn't come out right. I'm going to paint these black with the dot painting on them, but they have to rest. Anyway, this is your rock. And maybe this one is labeled adaptogen. And maybe this one is one of my favorite adaptogens, ashwagandha. You pick it up, you go through the process, and it doesn't work for you. Even though it works great for me, it doesn't work for you. Do you give up? Do you get frustrated, say nothing ever works for me, and walk away? Or do you say, oh, I picked up that rock. I never have to try ashwagandha again. It exhausts me. I'm tired. I have less energy with ashwagandha than not. And I never have to pick that rock up again. I know for sure. It doesn't matter if the best ad came at you, the best marketing came at you. You learned for yourself that ashwagandha didn't work. And remember, ashwagandha is one of the most powerful adaptogens. If you have Hashis, probably not a good fit. It will make you more tired. And if you have really, really, really high cortisol for a long extended amount of time, it probably isn't a good fit either. Finding that rock that works means you're going to, quote, fail at some of the other rocks. And how you handle, now my hands are all dusty. Oh, I hate dusty hands. How you handle that failure determines how long your journey is. Adaptogens are worth the investment of time to find that lifelong bestie that's always going to be there. So let's talk about ashwagandha and some of the benefits of ashwagandha and what it does to help heal your body. It modulates your immune system. If you are someone with autoimmune, your immune system is not modulating well. It will support you in bringing better balance to your autoimmune. It will also increase your energy. It will also give you the benefit of your reactions to things. It will walk you away from fight or flight. And remember that nothing happens in fight or, well, not nothing happens. Oh, let me pull that back. Healing does not happen in fight or flight. That's a better way to say it. Healing. And if you feel like I'm doing all the things, I do this and this and this and this, and nothing ever works, you probably have a dysregulated nervous system. And you need to walk away from that. Ashwagandha can help you do that if it's a good fit for you. So as you're taking it, remember, watch, how do you feel? If you're feeling worse, then you need to take that rock and say, oh, I'm done with you. I don't ever have to try you again. Boom, on to the next rock. On to the next rock, because that one could be the one. Are you going to wait 12 weeks, 6 months in between? That, if I could fix one pattern that I see holding the most women back and elongating their journey, it's the time in between rocks, because they get discouraged, they give up, they feel like nothing's working, nothing ever works for me, I've tried everything. Both of those are broken beliefs. And it's making it harder for you to create health. So walking away from that and finding the right adaptogen is going to help you do that. And it's going to help you keep your magnesium burn rate low. When your body has better balance, you don't have to soak in magnesium as often to keep your magnesium at 6.3 or above by red blood cell testing, not serum. There was a whole conversation that I had to decide, do I even get involved in this over what I'd said? Because it was getting heated. Anyway, red blood cell testing, not serum. I'll say it again. Red blood cell testing, not serum. Let's go to another adaptogen. And this one is in a family of functional mushrooms. When you take functional mushrooms like reishi, turkey tail, lion's mane, please make sure that you've got the fruiting part of the mushroom and the spore part of the mushroom. That's the complete mushroom. That is the complete, absolute part of the mushroom where you're going to get the benefit. But Jody, you've just opened up our give receive cycle. So I'm going to walk away from mushrooms a little bit so we can talk about this, but I'll come back to mushrooms because I do want to talk about some very specific things about 3 different mushroom types. Here's how I like to do adaptogens. I take one in the morning and then I wait 24 hours. And then the next morning I look back at my day and I evaluate. Did anything get slightly better? Was I less tired in the afternoon? Was I more able to go strong throughout the day, clear to the end of evening until my body was ready for rest? Did I have less cravings in the afternoon of typically like salt and carbs like chips, candy, soda? Did I have, to get me through that afternoon slump? Was I a little bit more clear headed? Did I have less reactions to things? Those are the kind of questions that you'll want to ask yourself, Jody. And we're not looking for something that fixes everything. I think it's the biggest problem I have communicating with people about magnesium. It does help and it jumpstarts thousands of processes. It does not fix everything. And we buy into something and we get so excited and we think, okay, this is it. It's going to fix everything in one soak, or it's going to fix everything after the 30-day challenge. No, magnesium, the goal is single cell saturation, maintain it. That's it, to activate vitamin D. Now, a lot of things will go away by doing that, but you're still going to have things, more gates of health that you have to open. It's just magnesium and vitamin D is the first gateway. And it's the same thing toward adaptogens. Jody, we are not looking for every hormonal, and I'm not saying you have, I'll list some of my things. I'm not looking for every menopausal problem to go away, for attention and focus to completely be 100% better. I don't know, just those sleep. I have good sleep, but anyway, we're not looking for it to heal everything. We're looking for a upshift. It gets a little bit easier. It's a little bit more clarity, or a little bit better sleep, or a little bit better immune reaction. Now, if that didn't happen with one, the next day, take 2. And then look back. The next day, take 3. Look back. The next day, take 4. Look back. The next day, take 5. Oh, my life is better. And some women have a hard time seeing the small differences. So this is when I use my board of directors. I have a board of directors in every area of my life, even thrifting. I have a board of directors. And on your board of directors, you always go to someone that is their strength. And I've used this example before for those who have heard it, but it's a good way to put it. My son's a financial investment. His degree, his entire education is focused on generational wealth and setting it up to be successful for the next generation and the next generation, that they don't lose their values. He's passionate about it. If I went to him with, today I thrifted that Madewell bag. It's fabulous. If I went to him with that on my shoulder and said, hey, what do you think of my new bag? Fine. He doesn't care. That's not his, means nothing to him. If I went to a daughter, she would immediately recognize the bag and say, you bought that bag? I can't believe you paid that much. No, 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 no. You know me. Oh, you thrifted it. Where'd you thrift it? Would talk, what outfit are you going to wear it with? All that stuff. You need to go to someone who has interest, who has walked the path before, who knows about it, and will give you clear feedback. Some of my board of directors are paid, and I pay them. Some of them are good friends or family members, but they know if they're on my board of directors, they know. I have some board of directors, though, that I've never met, and they don't know they're on my board of directors. I just really respect what they put out in the world, educationally. And so when let's say you're on day 3 and you haven't been able to tell a difference at all, go to someone on your board of directors. I go to my husband and I say, have you seen any difference in me? more clarity, better follow through, anything like that. Now, I've learned he cannot tell me, no, I don't see a difference. He can't say that to me. So this is how he says no. Well, I always think you're, something, and he'll say something really kind. If he doesn't give me a specific answer like, "Oh, I noticed that hard thing came in and you didn't react to it. You took a minute. I saw you do some breathing and then you made a really good decision." That was incredible improvement. If he's not saying something like that, then no, he didn't see anything, even though he'll say, "Well, I always think." That's his way of saying, "No, I didn't notice anything." Because sometimes we miss the small details ourselves. Sometimes we miss that. Figuring out your dosage and making sure you don't take your adaptogens too late in the afternoon. I personally only take them in the morning because I don't want it disrupting my sleep. Some people will take them like before 1 o'clock. I don't like doing afternoon dosing on things. And so I just do mine in the morning. That's where you have to make it work for you. Didn't give it long enough. It is truly, think of that adaptogen as a best friend. And if you have a best friend, you're investing your time, energy, commitment to that best friend. And that's, the adaptogen. You're going to try it for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, before you determine if it's a good fit. And if it is, figure out your dosing, and then there you go. And then you cycle it on, cycle it off. Maybe you're on it for 6 months and off of it for 2 months. Or, "Hey, I'm doing really good right now. I'm going to cycle off so that when I need it, it's there." Because if you just use it every day the rest of your life, you'll quit getting the benefits from it. So, I hope that helped, Jody. Thank you so much for the interaction. Pam, okay, so I just finished up a live on a different social media and said, "Oh, I'll link the one that I love." They're not making it anymore. They've stopped production on it. So I have about 8 bottles left of it, and I will be looking for a new one. I don't have one to send you. I do know with ashwagandha, you want the root and the leaf. You want the root and the leaf. And so the cheaper brands tend not to have that. And so be careful on that one. Okay, let's go to those functional mushrooms. So functional mushrooms have the fruit and the spore. And the 3 that we're going to talk about today are reishi, shiitake, which is a very common, easy to find mushroom, and turkey tail. Those are 3, and lion's mane too. Oh, lion's mane. So I'll go quick. Reishi. Think of reishi. Oh, okay. Remember, all mushrooms are water soluble. For example, I take cod liver with other fat. There's something I'm eating that has some fat, because cod liver, the vitamin D, the vitamin A, the omegas are fat soluble. My body will utilize it better if I take it with fat. B vitamins are water soluble. So you take that with a big glass of water. Mushrooms are water soluble. The best way to take mushrooms is in tea form. That's the best way. You're going to get optimal benefits by taking it in tea form, and maybe a couple, but not many, in tincture form. If you're taking it in pill form, reduce your expectations of the mushrooms and drink minimum like 12, 16 ounces of water when you take it, because it needs water. It's a water soluble. Reishi is really good at calming you down. If your thoughts race, if you're very reactionary, if you tend to go to fight or flight or freeze when hard stuff happens, reishi could be such a great immune modulator for you. It also helps with sleep. and it is a very subtle difference, though. And reishi, not always, but usually you have to take a little bit more of it to get that benefit. And so it's one that you've got to really play with your dosing on. Another one is lion's mane. Think of focus. Think of Parkinson's, Alzheimer, dementia. We have an explosion of that being diagnosed younger and younger and younger. It's getting it is in epic proportions. Think of lion's mane, and it looks like a brain. Think of lion's mane as opening up neural pathways in your brain, as repairing the myelin sheath. When you repair that myelin sheath, everything communicates better. Lion's mane is the brain mushroom. It is one that playing with dosage is incredibly important, and especially for the people who really struggle with focus and concentration. Sometimes they don't stay on the journey long enough to figure out how beneficial it could be. And lion's mane and reishi too is one, it's got to build up in your system. So it's not one that you've got to take it 2-3 weeks of playing with that before you determine, this isn't a good fit for me. Again, adaptogens are an investment. When you find the right adaptogen, though, it will be easier for you to maintain cell saturation with magnesium, which opens the first gateway of health. It's so worth the time investment. And then you've got that support for life. I see people, over the last 20 years, that when they pay that price, that adaptogen, they use off and on the rest of their life. So it is worth the time investment if you're looking at long-term investment. If you're looking at quick fix, it's not worth it. But if you're like me and you want that long-term investment toward your health, you're as concerned about now as you're as concerned about the end of your life, not just the quick fixes that don't support foundational, it's not a good fit for you. If you are looking at long term, you invest the time. And, it might take you 3 months. Maybe the first two weren't it. And so now you're on your third one. So it can really, really, really take a while. The next one I want to talk about is shiitake. Shiitake is so easy to access in its full form with spores and the fruit. And so the fruiting part. And shiitake is, obviously the flavor profile is there, but it also is really good for if you've got cholesterol that's not in the balance that you want it to be. And remember, I think cholesterol has gotten really demonized. We need cholesterol. Cholesterol, our brain is made of cholesterol. Vitamin D is cholesterol is converted to vitamin D. So cholesterol is important. But if you have an improper balance, then shiitake can be really beneficial for that. Your gut health. Shiitake is really good at boosting gut health. And we have several billion-dollar industry on probiotics. Well, guess what? Probiotics can help, but they can actually overtake your own good flora and suppress it. And they're synthetic. They're grown in a lab on the same medium over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I have seen more and more people who have been on long-term probiotics have worse gut health because of it. It's too bad we don't have a billion-dollar industry educating you on the benefits of shiitake mushrooms that you can go pick up at the grocery store, because that is a gut boost. And I'm not saying that probiotics are horrible. I'm saying I think we have been marketed to very much with probiotics, and we have to be careful. We have to rotate them. We have to make sure we're not using them all the time. There are appropriate times to boost it. I think there's so many things we can add without the downside, and shiitake mushrooms are one of them. Okay, let's talk about turkey tail. Turkey tail, well, no, let me rephrase that. My whole family are downwinders. The cancer that, remember John Wayne? I don't know if you're old enough to remember John Wayne. He passed away from cancer from filming in southern Utah. I was born and raised in southern Utah. All of my older siblings and parents are downwinders. For example, when someone passes away in my family, you don't say, how did they die? You say, what type of cancer was it? And so they've been in the downwinder studies to study all of the issues that happen from people who were exposed to the testing that happened out in the desert. I'm not old enough. I'm a year too young. That's a nice thing to say. I'm too young. I'm just much too young for that to happen, to be classified as a downwinder. It is something that is very much on my radar. And please know, for those of you that are walking or have walked that cancer journey, I am not saying that turkey tail will heal all cancer. That would be disrespectful to the journey that you're on. I am saying that turkey tail increases apoptosis. And apoptosis, I think, is just a weird, fancy name to say cellular death. So our cells, the broken ones, die off, and then our body builds new ones, right? That's part of how we create better health. The broken cells are die off, the material is recycled, it creates a new cell. Cancer cells are different. They fight dying off. They like to multiply, multiply, multiply. Apoptosis is your body's ability to kill off cells. And turkey tail goes after the cancer cells. Numerous studies on this. Again, I'm not saying that it heals all cancer. I'm saying it is one of those things that studies have shown, numerous studies have shown the benefit and increase of apoptosis by the functional mushroom we call turkey tail. It also reduces inflammation. And we know that cancer cells grow in inflamed areas in your body. Anything that we do to reduce inflammation is going to make us healthier and have less pain. If you have pain, you have inflammation in that area. Turkey tail helps reduce inflammation. Beautiful thing. It also modulates the immune system very well. And all mushrooms have the ability to do that. Turkey tail is incredible. Remember, when you buy it, water soluble is best, tea form. If you're taking it in pill form, drink a ton of water and reduce your expectations. You won't get the same benefit that you do water form to pill form. And you want to make sure when you're taking, the more hydrated you are throughout the day, the better turkey tail is going to help you. And can we take a squirrel? Can we take just a small squirrel? A small squirrel. And that is, I've been talking about hydration, hydration, and a lot of comments have been, oh, I just pee all the time. Water follows sugar. When you're peeing all the time, as you up your water, there's a little bit that will happen. But if it's happening all the time, you need to look at your sugar intake. Your processed sugars like straight white sugar, brown sugar, but you also need to look at how many carbs you're eating because that turns to sugar. Now, I'm not saying go low carb. That's a very individual journey if it's appropriate for you. I cycle. So I go because I don't want to anyway, that's another squirrel. I cycle carbs off and on to remind my body to stay metabolically adapted. That's a good fit for me. If while you're focused on your let's say you're on your turkey tail and you're like, okay, I am really motivated what I learned this turkey tail could do for me. And so I'm really working on hydration, and you're just peeing all the time. Water follows sugar. That's an indication you've got too much sugar in your system. Too much sugar from carbs, from processed carbs, whole grain carbs, all the thing. And so that's got to be addressed to get full benefits from the turkey tail. Okay, can one take turkey tail every day, year after year? I looked into this on the studies because this one really appeals to me because of the apoptosis component of turkey tail. And it's inconclusive at this point. Personally, not being a doctor, not being, just what I'm seeing from my view is I would still rotate it off and on to get the full benefit. So if you're looking at it because of anti-cancerous, Mary, and I don't know, Marianne, if you are or not, but let's say that's why you're really focused on turkey tail, that anti-cancerous aspect, is what I would do is I would cycle it and maybe do shorter off cycles with longer on cycles. It could look like this. You're cycling on for 6 months and off for only 4 to 6 weeks, and then cycling back on. Playing with your cycling, because adaptogens, your body just gets used to them. You need to cycle them off and on for full benefit. Oh, Marianne. Oh, our family child, my heart goes out to you. And I wondered if that's what it was. Well, not that I knew that it was your parents, that anti-cancerous. If you're someone who that is on your radar, it's very appealing to know that you can do something to be as preventative as possible, recognizing it's not going to stop all cancers. It's one of those layers that we add. And the more layers that we add, the better chance that we have. Okay, so I would love to know, what's your takeaway? Did I talk at the beginning about giving away more magnesium today? Because we didn't do Monday, and this is my last week to do my big push of giving away magnesium. I, Monday was a holiday. My husband was home. He had my focus, and I'm leaving town Thursday and Friday, so I won't be live. So I've only got 2 days to give a bunch away. And this is what I'm looking for. People that are helping me build community. I want these lives to be a place of support where there's a give and receive. I give when I share what I've learned, and you receive. And I receive when you leave a comment. You give when you leave a comment. And we have to be really careful, especially on social media, that we don't just receive, 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 receive. And in fact, for me personally, my brain function got better when I do not get onto more social media until I've given to that person that I received from. I've left a comment, I've shared like how it helped me, and then I've taken action. So I have to take 2 steps before I move on to more social media. And that has made the biggest benefit in my dopamine cycle. It's been huge for me. Anyway, so I'm looking for people that are helping me to open up that give receive cycle, and helping to create community that we can come here and ask powerful questions. Because the more powerful our questions are of our board of directors when it comes to our health, the better off we will be, and the more support that we will have. And I see it every day. When women feel better, they wake up and start changing the world. And we need more women waking up, changing the world. My grandkids could be in your corner of the world, and I want that corner. I want powerful women in that corner that have created amazing things. That's what drives me to do what I do. So that's the push behind the magnesium giveaway. I'm hoping that it kind of dangles a carrot to help you understand the power of the give receive cycle, because I think it's one of those things that shuts women down from creating health, but it's not something that people talk about. Okay. So, what's your power takeaway? What have you connected on our time together? We've now, oh, I don't have my watch on. Oh, let me look at my phone. I do have a cute bracelet on though. Isn't that fun? Oh, we've been on almost 45 minutes. Oh, 40. We've been on 40 minutes together. What's your takeaway? What are you putting in a different loop of your brain by sharing with me your takeaway? Oh, Nikki, that's great. You're almost through your 30 days. So, Nikki, are you a casual soaker or are you a therapeutic soaker? Neither pathway is right or wrong. It's where you're at. The casual soaker, after the 30-day challenge, will just kind of pick, I'm going to soak twice a week. I'm good. The therapeutic soaker wants to know where their numbers are at, and their numbers will dictate how often they soak. So I'd love to know if you're on the therapeutic or if you're on the casual. I've been on both. It really, for me, depends on the season of my life. I don't want people to think there is shame to be a casual soaker. Pick your pathway, pick it strongly. Healthy women make a choice, they make it strongly, and they move forward. If it's casual, that's awesome. Therapeutic is the goal. Awesome. I'd love to know when you get your magnesium red blood cell test back. I'd love to know what your number is. Deborah, I never knew I had to cycle adaptogens. Yes. Oh, and let me share this too. I am not a fan of, you'll see like a superfood mix that has 15 adaptogens in it. You're not, I don't see people getting the benefit of working with one adaptogen and really honing in on it. Now, you can take more than one, but understand your dosage, the timing, and how much. And if you've got a superfood blend with 20, you can't change how much of this and how much of that. So I personally would never do like a mix. I want single adaptogens. I actually do too. Oh, Jody. Okay. Let me clarify. I'm so glad. Oh, that's the daughter that's going to be so excited over what I thrifted today because it may end up in her closet. So I'm really glad that this came up. I'm not 100%, I'm not against probiotics. I do want people to understand there is a downside to probiotics. There is billions. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they are marketing to us. Our own gut flora that we were born with is the best. A probiotic is a synthetic, in lab grown probiotic. And yes, it can boost us, but if you stay on the probiotic, same, it can actually overtake your own gut flora and suppress it and take it over. I don't think you want that happening too. I'm going to assume that. Using probiotics when appropriate, I personally I do when I need one for, I don't know, whatever, like usually after a trip or anyway. I do it for 60 days. I do probiotics for 60 days, but I use 2 different kinds, and I cycle every single time. I cycle a different kind. Now I have a couple that I really like. That might be another topic that would be good to cover. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think on that. but I always use different ones. Like I don't want to be using the same one over and over, that it can suppress my own natural ability. Nikki, recognize when you go to the doctor, they will test your serum. Magnesium is so important for you to be alive that it will pull from your pancreas, your heart, your bones, your gallbladder, your liver. It will pull magnesium from those places to keep your blood serum at 1%. And so basically you're going to come back at 1% unless you are in major end of life issues. I'm looking at the magnesium red blood cell. That's where I look. Now, it's not a perfect test because 60% of the magnesium is in our bones and 40% is around the red blood cells. I do want to know what's around my red blood cells, and I want that at 6.3 or above. So make sure when you're getting your test, I've seldom seen a doctor that uses the red blood cell. Functional doctors will, and some doctors are starting to come around to it. Most doctors are still stuck in that serum. So make sure you've got the right test going there. Oh, Marianne, therapeutic. I love that. Okay, so I'd love to know your takeaways. Oh, Deborah's was cycling adaptogens. I'm so glad that you're taking away that cycling. And I like to have, you don't just have one best friend, right? You have a couple. I like to have more than one adaptogen that I know is a good fit for me, so that I can even cycle those also. For example, how long has it been? 5 years now? I think it's been 5 years. My husband had one leg amputated. They thought the other leg, he has a artery. He was born without correct arteries. So basically, he's been dying at a faster rate because your arteries give you blood, give you nutrients in your blood and oxygen. His legs just gave out because there wasn't enough blood or oxygen. You're supposed to have 3 that go from the knee down, that are about the size of your pinky, and he has one that's like a silk thread. Anyway, had the first leg taken off, and then they said, oh, the other leg's going to last between a year and 18 months. Within 2 weeks, I turned to him and I said, your other leg is not going to last doing all the work. Please prepare yourself that the other one will come off sooner. I just know it. And he was like, no, anyway, I was right. It was about 6 weeks later, the second one came off. The first one we handled. It was like, okay, he's got less pain. He handled it beautifully. We set up our home. It was like, okay, we got this. The second one came off, and I don't even have words. It was a beautiful, brutal journey. Brutal and beautiful at the same time. I'm really glad I had more than one adaptogen when we were going through that, because it was long term. It wasn't just one day of stress. Every single thing in our life changed, in our relationship, in our grocery shopping, in our home, in our cars. Everything changed. How I exercised. I had to set up new systems because I wanted to be there for him when it just, everything changed. So at that, the point of that was, you might want to have more than one in your arsenal, in your tool bag. Oh, Kathy, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Cycling is really important, and you'll get more benefit. You will get more benefit. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I need to block that user. I'm getting so good at blocking people. I used to like, just agonize, like, oh, should I block them? And man, now I only got through the first 2 lines. I hope nobody else. I just have no issue blocking people. In fact, I think over the weekend I blocked 10 or 15. No problem blocking people if they're saying things that are not kind or that kind of thing. I love knowing that the cycling was the most important thing for you. I'd love to know what type of adaptogens you've tried, if you've tried any, and what the most powerful thing that you learned from this. And I'm excited to share some magnesium. It will ship from the warehouse in Utah. We've had like an more than, I think we're now more than 20 times our sales that are happening every single day. And it's been that way for about 4 months. Typically, magnesium left within 24 hours. It's now taking 3 days for us to get it out. We are changing some systems, so it's a good problem to have. We're upgrading our systems. We've got a new machine coming in, lots of change happening. So it will take a little bit, but they will get it out to you. Team is just doing an amazing job of getting those orders out so efficiently with the increase of orders. I will be giving away, I'll wait 24 hours so people can watch the replay. And then tomorrow's live will be my last for this week. And so maybe I'll just give them away. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll give them away tomorrow, actually on the live, because after my live tomorrow, I'm out of here. I'm checking out and just finding some renewal and a different space, changing perspective, and learning some things that I really love to learn. So that's how we'll do the giveaways. Going to use don't let that birthday coupon go too long because it expires. So don't let it go too long. And if it has, reach out and I can, if it's 5 months later, I can't. But if it's close within your birthday, I can help on that. Marianne, turkey tail. Oh, I love that. And the probiotics. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm super, super, super excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I won't totally check out, but I won't be in front of a desk kind of check out. So it'll be good. It'll be so good. So we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic was from a question, and I'll figure out how I'm going to word it, but it's basically things you can learn about what's holding you back from being healthy when you find out your magnesium number. I want to share so that you can just get optimal feedback. I like feedback. Do you like feedback? Well, I like feedback that will help me. I don't like rude feedback, but I like feedback. Tell me where you're at on feedback, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I got to delete him again. Oh gosh. Ugh. Okay. Okay, there we go. Bye, guys. Oh, you're so welcome. That's my goal I'm really trying to I'm really trying to figure out, because technically all the gurus say don't make your lives longer than 10 minutes. There's just more I want to give you, but at the same time, who has time to watch a 45-minute replay? And I want to keep things concise, and I'm really focused on that. And I'm trying to figure out time-wise, like how do I get it in? Anyway, so now we're at 53 minutes. I'm out of here. Bye.